Hello everyone, and welcome back to Yoshi's Woolly World on the Nintendo Wii U. I am one wild sheep yet again, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be continuing onwards with more of World 5 of the game. And with this next level this next level, we are going to be dealing with snow, well, yet again, as you expect, it's a snow world. Now, the big thing involving the snow in this level is actually we have to deal with a lot of platforming, should we say, traps involving the snow. For example, there's trees covered in snow, and whenever you jump on them, you can stand on them for a limited amount of time before the snow will fall off the trees and crush anything below. And we can basically use this to our advantage to collect a load of collectibles, and we can manipulate the snow as well using our wall balls whenever we get hold of them. So it's actually quite a unique little level, and it's very... There's a lot of hidden secrets you can get just by going through and manipulating the snow in certain ways, and for the most part you're going to want to try and go as fast as possible over top of trees and what have you in order to reach certain points. For example, over here we need to manipulate the snow before the Shy Guy throws his yarn balls at the snow so we can get hold of that happy flower. Or alternatively, you could be like me and be extremely lucky and just have enough time to jump off of the Yoshi yarn ball supplying machine thing. What are those things called? They're like blocks that just supply yarn balls. I don't know what to call them. I don't think there is an official name for the thing, so I'll just call it a Yoshi block. Just basically jump off the Yoshi block if all the snow is out of the way, but I don't think that's the way the developers really intended you to get that happy flower. What can I say? But we do have to worry a lot about loads of enemies popping up out of nowhere and chucking yarn balls. It's probably your biggest threat in the zone, actually, is the zone. It's like Sonic the Hedgehog. Yarn balls. Like, the enemies absolutely adore these things in this particular zone. I don't know why. I do not know why. But they're easy enough to deal with, and if the snow from the top of trees and what have you and higher up platforms actually land on you, you don't actually have to worry about being crushed or killed or anything, because you can simply jump up through the snow and continue. You know, it's a nice chilled out, if you excuse the pun, level. You know, it's a pretty cool stage. Laugh at my jokes, please. But yeah, it's a good level. I really do quite enjoy this level a lot. Although one thing that kind of does bug me about the stage is like that last happy flower we just picked up a minute ago. That happy flower is just so... There's a monkey that clues you in. You can go up there, and that's how I found it. But it's kind of difficult to actually see that you can actually go up there. So I have a couple of issues. Like, it's a little bit cryptic with a couple of yarn balls. But apart from that, you know, it's a fun level, it's good stuff. The music is actually stunning. I love the soundtrack in this one. It's very Christmassy, it's very upbeat, you know, it's very... It's pretty cool, you know, it's pretty cool. You know, I could actually have released this series of videos during Christmas time now that I think about it, but oh well, again in January, and so, yeah. Also, we have to deal with Lakitu as well, who, he functions basically like he always has done. I think we've seen him earlier on in the game, but could be wrong. But, we will be needing to make sure we jump on top of his head, because if you don't jump on Lakitu's head, you cannot get this happy flower that is above the cloud. Well, it's not so much above the clouds, just in the sky. It's just a bit too high for you to be able to physically get without the Lakitu cloud, so you're going to want to boop him on the head in order to grab hold of this thing. What can I say? Get out of here, monkey! Whoop! I don't know why. That threw me off the first time I did this level, just because it scared the hell out of me when I noticed the snowman's head was starting to roll off. So I was like, oh god, no, what do I do? But I digress. But yeah, overall, it's just a fun, easygoing stage. I can't complain too much about it, you know? And for the most part, it isn't too cryptic. It's only like one or two like collectibles that are kind of awkward to get hold of because they're hidden away. So, you know, shouldn't have any problems with this one. And also to our left by here, we have access to a pipe, which means I think it's time to get ourselves to a challenge room. Oh my goodness. Whoa, almost got me then. No, actually, this brings up a good point with law games. I've wondered, why aren't there any more games that have Christmas-based themes, or games that change like the season of the game itself depending on what year you're playing? You know, what time of year you're playing it. Because that's one thing that I remember a lot of earlier games from like Sega Saturn and well, I only recall one game from the Sega Saturn and one game from the PS2 doing this, where they used the actual clock of the console to set the game's, you know, the entire atmosphere of the game to whatever season you're playing. For example, you get certain things if you're playing on New Year's, you get snow and what have you, and Christmassy decorations at Christmas time. You don't see that in games that often, and I don't know why, because it's all. I think it's a really, really nice bonus to add, you know. And plus, every game console under the sun these days has like a calendar on it, so in theory, there's no reason why they don't do anything like that, other than they probably just don't have the money or something. I don't know. It's like, I think Fallout 4 does a similar thing, because when I first played that, I was playing it when it first came out, which was on Halloween, so they had loads of Halloween decorations and stuff up in houses. I like it when games do that, you know. It's such a shame you don't see that as often in games. Just it'll make choosing an LP to do on certain times of years a lot easier, like Christmas LPs and stuff. I can just choose any old game that has a Christmas theme. But I digress. It's just one thing I've always noticed. It's something that's always been like the clock's always been underutilized in game systems, you know. And the only games I can recall that used the clock in such a way is Nights into Dreams, like the Christmas version that wasn't even the full version of the game. That was just a Christmas bonus disc you can get. So there's Nights into Dreams with Christmas version and New Year's version and whatnot. And then there's this one Scooby-Doo game I owned on the PS2, which was, I think it was called Nights of the Hundred Frights or something like that. Where, basically I used to swap over the time of the year just to see stuff like fireworks and what have you. And it's all neat, you know, I like that sort of stuff. I think Sonic Adventure had a similar thing on the Dreamcast as well, but that was more, DLC than anything else, really. But I digress. With that, this is a level done and dusted. Alright. Hey, we got Star Yoshi. Not to be confused with Shine Sprite Yoshi. Is there a Shine Sprite Yoshi in this game, actually? That's a good question I should, ask. Also, I do apologize if anyone can hear my dog in the background. We got a new puppy recently, Jackawawa, or whatever the hell the thing's called, and, as you can probably hear, it's an absolute nightmare. It doesn't stop barking, it's driving me mad. It's messing up my videos. But I digress. I just apologize if anyone can actually hear that. Anyway, time to head on up to Shuttle Thread Pass. Right. And this level by here is actually quite an awkward one whenever you're trying to collect 100%. Now, the stage itself is actually... It's not that bad a level. It's got some tricky platforming here and there, but the stage design itself is quite simple. However, if you're collecting 100% on everything, you can easily get lost. You can easily lose your way, because there's so many multiple routes you can take in the stage to get to the other side, you know, get to the ending, that you're very, very likely to lose something. You're very likely to not get hold of whatever items, you know. Basically, it's easy to miss items and whatnot on this stage, so what I recommend is just follow the same path I'm going, and you should run into every item without any issues, because it's just annoyingly difficult. Well, it's not annoyingly difficult per se. It's very annoying to just get hold of everything here, you know. This took me a good 7 or 8 attempts in order to collect all of the MacGuffins in this one, folks, because I keep losing like this one item at the start of the level or one item halfway through, and I wanted to get this all in one run to try and, you know, just to show off the right routes for people, so it's easy for them if they're using this LP as a walkthrough, you know. So, yeah. This stage took me a good while to accomplish, you know, that's all I'm really getting at. But I do kind of like this gimmick by here with these woolly platforms. They sort of unravel and ravel, and they work like the snake blocks in Super Mario World and what have you. And I love these things. They're so adorable and whatnot, and it looks so soft. I just want to hug it. Oh. I'm gonna be honest, this soundtrack as well, this particular song that I was playing is beautiful. Like, I honestly can't, I can't say enough about the soundtrack. It's stunning. It's a really nice soundtrack to listen to, you know? Like, it's so calming and relaxing in a lot of these levels, so you can just sort of sit back, fall asleep with the song playing, or when you're editing and you're going through a stressful recording session where you have to cut down like 1,000,000 deaths, like in a very recent example, my Sonic Robo Blast 2 LP, you know, it's stuff like this that you can listen to while editing or working, where it can calm you down, it can keep you all chilled out, it can keep you having a good time, you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? But I digress. Although one thing I will have to say as well, you may find yourself not having all that many pieces of world during the course of the stage itself, primarily because one thing I've noticed is there's not many enemies about in this one. All of the hazards and whatnot you're going to run into tend to be basically pits and areas where you're very likely to backtrack and what have you, so you're not very likely to have a full amount of yarn balls on you at any given time. Of course, if you're wondering why I paused then, that was actually not a jump cut. I promise. No, I tend to find myself pausing a lot during the course of this level just to check how many pieces of happy flowers and whatnot I've gotten, because it's so easy to miss them. I cannot emphasize how annoying it is in this stage to get through the entire stage and then realize, oh, I'm missing that one happy flower all the way to the right-hand side of the screen. You know, so I tend to keep mashing the start button in order to just check to make sure, oh, I'm going the right way, you know? Ah, you lot are for my dinner. Delicious. Although you will want to try and keep at least a couple yarn balls on you as well, because if you remember, folks, you can actually use these yarn balls to... Jesus Christ, what's wrong with that dog? I do apologize about that. I had to, wait for the dog to shut up, and I don't know, I think someone was leaving the house or something. The dog freaks out when someone leaves the house. It's annoying. But anyway, you're going to want to try and keep as many yarn balls as possible. Like I said, there aren't many in this level, but just use them as sparingly as possible, because there are going to be some happy flowers where you may need to have at least 1 or 2 yarn balls on hand to chuck at happy flowers that are just off in a distance you can't quite reach, or if you want to be safer about collecting some of them, you know, folks, because it's very easy to fall off the edge in areas, and you know, it's awkward at times. What can I say? Although, going through this point by here, this area, when I first played through, so hard to find, and it's only because I didn't think I could actually crawl underneath that tight squeeze that you saw me crawl under earlier on, you know, as I was on that snake platform. So, that area took me a good while to find in my playthrough, so just keep an eye out, you know, it's around this point in the game, because we are getting closer to the end game, where the game's going to start getting a little bit more evil, and a little bit more tricksy with its hidden MacGuffins, you know, folks? Now, of course, what you want to do by here is actually eat and use all these chickens on each of these clouds, and then pick up all of the beads in the area. You want to know why? Because that is the only way to actually gain access to one of the... I think is it a happy flower in here, or is it a... No, it's a world piece. Well, either way, you need to go in here, collect everything, kill everyone, in order for the world piece to actually spawn in. So, that can also be quite a tricky one to find, just because, well, if you're not playing with a collectathon mentality, you will very easily miss this one. That's all I'm really getting at here. And with that, that's the final yarn ball, if you will. So it's time to move on. Yarn ball, wool piece thing. I don't know what to call it. I'm not into all my sewing and knitting or what have you, so I have no idea what half these things are legitimately called. Like, I know what beads are and whatnot, but It's like, what are those, buttons? I think they're buttons. I don't know, I'm not very smart with this sort of thing. But there we are, it's time to head on through and finish up this stage once and for all. Oh my. But yeah, apart from the whole maze-like structure and how there's so many multiple paths you can probably take, I quite enjoy that stage, you know. It's a nice relaxing level, the music is so tranquil, it makes me feel like, ooh, this is a Christmas level, you know? And you don't see Christmas levels that often in games in general, do you? It's kind of rare you see a level with a Christmas theme. Like, there's plenty of snow worlds in games, there's plenty of snow weather in games, but you never see Christmas-themed things that often. Which is, it's kind of strange. But I digress, it's time for yet another bonus stage, and this one by here actually throws me off a little bit, because the ribbon, as you can tell, is moving up and down in a little wavy pattern, as you can clearly see. The problem is, from the way it's animated, you think that the ribbon would actually push you along. However, it doesn't. You, as you can tell by Yoshi there, you will stay in one place and you'll move up and down as the ribbon's moving. So it throws me off because I'm expected to be moved to the left constantly during the course of that mini game, but I'm not. I'm stationary, which it's a little awkward. I don't know if anyone else agrees with me with that, but I find it awkward personally. But I digress. What have we unlocked this time, Jim? It's Trouser Yoshi, because he's wearing trousers. Oh, so adorable. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this part, so thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, people. And I'll catch you all next time as we finish off World 5. So yeah, thanks for watching. Don't be sheepish, and I'll catch you all then. Bye!